and welcome back to another video. I'm Court, this is Reading with Court, and we are going to be doing kind of a summer vacation mood reading, maybe spinners, I don't know. We're doing a reading vlog because I am out of work for the next 6 days and I want to see how much I read when I don't have to be at the school I teach at from 7 to 4. So, we are jumping in with a book that I started in June. We are going to be reading Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. I am about that far in. I think it's like 25%. But if you don't know, this is the 4th book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series by Lila Sage. I read book 1 in March, book 2 and 3 last month, and this had an 8-week wait at the library, and I said, no it doesn't, and I ordered it. Very, very impulsive decision, but here we are. I am loving it so far. Dusty might be my favorite male protagonist so far. I love him. I mean, just look at him. And look at the tattoo. I can't point on camera. Look at the tattoos. Like, that's my man right there. This is about Dusty and Camille. Camille is connected to the Rebel Blue Ranch because she is the mother of Gus's child. She's kind of like, in this perspective, the unofficial 4th sibling. And I'm loving the connection between these two. I'm loving that it has flashbacks to their high school days. And that's my intro and first update all jumbled up into one good time. And I will be back when I hit probably 50%, which will be soon. And we'll see if I'm still vibing as hard as I am right now. Hello, I have lived a whole day since I last saw you. I went and got my nails done. They are much shorter and a different color. I wanted to go summery vibe without doing like bright yellow because that's not me. Also, I didn't notice until this moment, but it kind of matched the book a little bit. But that's what you're here for, not my life story. I am about halfway through Wild and Wrangled. I read a little bit after I updated you guys, and I love these characters so much. I love learning their backstory. I like that we're getting that in this one. I like the connections. I like learning more about Cam, especially because we've been hearing about her since book 1, and you don't really know anything about her. And now we're finally getting her story and why she is the way she is. I'm heavily invested. This one is probably going to be close to Lost and Lassoed for my favorite of the series. But there was a moment in here when Cam and Dusty were hiking, and it was a flashback. And I can't find the exact page, but basically they're having a moment, and Cam just looks at him and goes, well, why haven't you kissed me yet? And I was kicking my feet in this chair, just ready for more, ready to see where they go, and ready to see when that comes in the present. Because right now all our bits of their relationship are in the past, which is all well, fine, and good, and I'm loving the history, but I can't wait to see where we are now. Like, just I love a second chance romance, and I always forget that it's a trope that I enjoy until I'm reading it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this hits right. I am a little less than 50% actually, but close enough that I felt you guys deserved an update because I'm having so many feelings. I am going to go read more of this or go to bed. I don't know, I'm looking at the clock, it's getting late. But I don't work all week, which is the point of this vlog. So I'm either gonna sleep or read more or do something with my life, but I will be back when I have an update. I apologize if you can hear the air conditioner running. It's too hot to turn it off even just to film. I'm here because I have finished Wild and Wrangled. This was amazing time from start to finish. And then I was reading the very, very end, which is a surprise bonus story that I didn't know was happening. And I have been sitting here crying my eyes out. I don't know if you can see the tears in my eyes, but I had to sit for a couple minutes and process when I finished. But this is, I think, tied with Lost and Lassoed for my favorite of the series. I'm very happy to have finished it. I'm very happy to own this, and I will definitely be buying the other 3 books when money is less tight. This book's gonna sit with me for a while. The characters, the stories, just everything about watching these characters grow throughout the duration of these 4 books has been so important to see and so amazing to see. We've seen these characters through a lot of things, and I didn't think that was something that was going to happen. I had the best time, and I want to read more cowboy romance for sure. Hopefully I like them as much as this one, but this one was definitely, this series was a good place to start for me because it was just so good. I know that's not a very good review term, but this book was so good. I pretty much devoured it in less than a day, and I would have had it done earlier if I hadn't gone out yesterday and done all the things that I needed to do yesterday. But I already want to reread the series, and I just finished it. And I'm not that big of a rereader, so that should determine how I feel about these books. This, to me, was absolutely a 5-star read. Just 5 stars, no notes, ready for her new release to come out whenever it comes out. I don't know the exact date, but I will be reading that as well. But yeah. Wild and Wrangled, great time. Moving on to what's next, I'm going to be reading, I think I'm going to jump right into Silver Elite because I've been really wanting to read this, and for the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, I want to count it for a May release, which means I need to finish it by Sunday, which is doable, but she's a little chunky, which is fine. I just need to devote the time to reading it. The next time you see me, I will have an update on Silver Elite, hopefully, or I will have picked something entirely different. You'll know when I know. So after the last clip yesterday, or well, you saw it a couple seconds ago, but anyway, after that clip, I'm sure you expected me to come here and talk about Silver Elite and all the feelings I have about Silver Elite. Well, I didn't read it. I might still, but I grabbed off of my Kindle the Zodiac Academy novella instead, Origins of an Academy Bully, and I literally just devoured it in an hour when I woke up. Origins of an Academy Bully is the story about Darius and Orion before the first book, and I have never read the series. I am participating in the 2-year-long Zodiac read-along hosted by Vanessa over at Read with Dr. B. I devoured this. If I didn't have so many other books that I wanted to read, I would be jumping into book 1 right now. I'm very invested in these 2 characters already. I am intrigued by the magic system and the creatures and the shifting and the orders, and I have a feeling that this series is very much going to be for me and very much going to be a hyperfixation. And if most of the books weren't small refrigerators, I would probably binge it. But also, I can't binge refrigerators. So, I have finished that on here, and I rated it 4 stars. I debated 5, but honestly, I just wanted more, which, it's a novella, so I knew I wasn't getting all the things, and I know the loose ends will be tied up later in the series, because I think that's kind of part of the point. Very, very invested in seeing where these things go next. I'm now in a state of decision paralysis. I don't know what I want to read because I want to read anything and everything. So I've put up a poll in one of my Discord servers, and it's between Silver Elite, On the Way to the Wedding, which is the last Bridgerton book that I need to read to complete that series, and then Heir of Fire. So that ends in, according to Discord here, about 58 minutes, and then I will leap into the next book. And you'll find out what it is when I'm back in 0.2 seconds. Okay, so poll finished, and the winner was Silver Elite. This doesn't help you at all. The winner is Silver Elite by Dani Francis. So this is a dystopian, not really fantasy, dystopian sci-fi-y, super-powered people hiding in plain sight kind of vibe. It is also a romance, so I guess you could call it dystopian romance. I don't know. Genres are hard. That Genres are hard. But I'm about 30% into this, and this is another book where I feel like there's crack in the pages because I don't want to put it down. I am unhinged, having the giddiest feet kicking time while reading it, and it's just a great time overall. And I have a lot of pages left, obviously. I've got, all that. But I will probably realistically finish this today or tomorrow, which feels insane because it's over 500 pages. But it's summer break, no responsibilities, let's do the thing. But I like Ren a lot more than I thought I would because I never really loved the female chosen one-y protagonist in dystopian novels, and she doesn't have that vibe. She's got spunk, she's got attitude, she's got internal dialogue that makes me laugh. And I'm also very intrigued by Cross, which is, I'm assuming, the love interest, who is the son of the, leader of their country or whatever, who is technically out to try to kill people like Ren. So it's a fun time. Enemies to lovers meets forbidden romance, which we're not at the romance part at all yet. But there's a lot of military training scenes, and this book is a blast. Also, fun little side conversation. I was in one of the many, many Patreons that I'm in and talking about this book. And my friend Brittany said that she couldn't remember anyone's names because I shared a theory. And that the only reason she remembers Ren's name is because of the bird on the cover. And I dissociated for a good minute because the entire time I thought this was just a blob. That's a bird, as I'm sure you can see when you now look at it. That was a revelation. That makes complete and total sense. With processing that information and processing what I've read so far, I'm going to get back to it, and I'll see you when I see you. I promise I move. I feel like that's how I need to start this update. I promise I don't just sit in this chair all the time. It's just the best spot for filming in my apartment because I've got my webcam, my mic. But for anyone who is concerned, I promise that I move. However, I am here with an update. I am 50% into Silver Elite. I am still loving it. It's amazing. I'm hooked. I'm sat. I might finish it tonight, which feels insane because, she's not small. This is 500 pages, and I'm sitting here debating finishing it tonight just because I'm loving it that much. But the only reason I don't want to do that is there's no news of a sequel on the horizon, and I have a bad feeling we're going to end in some cliffhanger situation, and then I'm just going to be really sad waiting into the void for it to come out again. But it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I still love all the characters I was loving before. There was just a pretty big twist that I wasn't expecting at all. And I can be a bit of a twist predictor, or at least I try to be. So it was nice that the one that came in here a little while ago was not even remotely on my radar. I like being surprised. I'm staring at it like it's going to tell me what to say. If you haven't read this yet, and you are into the dystopian, fantasy-ish world, you should really be checking this out if you haven't already. But I'm probably the 5th to 10th person to tell you about how good Silver Elite is, truly. So, read it, and I'm going to go read it. And I will be back when I finish this book. Here we are. I have finished Silver Elite. I read it all day, got through the last 50%, and I am shocked, bamboozled, baffled, invested, all of the fun words. I don't even know what to say about this book, truthfully. The story kept getting better. I was hooked. I was glued. I was just reading like crazy, following the journeys of all of these characters, and I need the second book. Danny Francis, I don't care who you are, I don't care about your secret identity or whatever that whole thing is. All I care about is that you write the second book. You can stay secret, you can do whatever you need to do, but I need the sequel. There are so many questions unanswered. I need to know what is happening here. That at the core of it, I need more. I'm ready for more. This is absolutely a 5-star read with no questions asked. The way that I devoured it in a little over 24 hours, I think speaks for itself. If you haven't read this book, you should, and that's what I have to say on the subject. So this is a 5-star read, and in terms of Herkyed, it counts for 2 prompts. I am counting it for a 2025 release and also a May release that was read within 60 days, because the 60-day cutoff is 2 days from now, and I have finished this. I don't know what's coming next. I'm kind of in a bit of a book hangover at the moment, if I'm being completely honest. I have a few options of what I could read. I've got some stuff on my Kindle. I've got over there, I'm in the middle of Heir of Fire. Well, not the middle. I'm like a quarter of the way through it. I'm going to go exist for a little bit. I'm going to play some Sims, do some TV watching, and I'll be back when I'm into a new book. Hello, me again, here to wrap up this vlog. So I made it through 3 books in the week that I was off. I got 30% into a 4th, which I did have a clip in here about, but I ended up taking it out because I didn't know if I would vlog the rest of the experience in a future vlog. So I just left it, took it out. Surprise, maybe it'll appear later. But the last thing I do want to add before I, close out, I did end up reading a 4th book this morning. I read the first volume of the Sweat and Soap manga, and that was quite the experience. I'm very new to manga. I have read only the Pokemon ones ever, so this was the beginning of a journey for me. And I don't know how I felt about what I read. I had a good time, for sure, and I took out the 2nd volume when I finished the first. But the concept is this girl just sweats a lot, and the guy is like drawn to her scent and wants to smell her all the time. And it's a romance, I think, and it's a time, to be sure. And I went into it confused, and I came out of it confused. But I'll be reading volume 2 at some point, and it's only 11 volumes, which for a manga really isn't that many. But yeah, so that happened, and I am rating that a 3.5 out of 5 stars, which, it was good, and I want to go in for more, so we'll see how the next volume goes. However, that will be the end of this vlog. I hope you had a great time joining me on my adventures this week, and I'm very sad to have to go back to work and read a lot less, but we'll still be here hanging out. But I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next vlog. Bye!